I want to share something that happened to me when I was on vacation, because this just was a milestone moment. I was riding an outdoor elliptical because I have a friend of mine that owns a company called Street Strider, and they make outdoor ellipticals. It's the elliptical that you ride in the gym, but you can do it outside. So you're not staring at a wall, you can like be cruising. So I was riding it out there in Newport Beach and Huntington Beach. I was going back and forth, and I was up to about 18 miles every day. But when I'm on the Street Strider, I'm fellowshipping with Jesus. I'm listening to the word, because no matter where we go, it says that we always should be in the word no matter what we're doing. And so I'm audibly listening to the Bible, and I'm going through the reality of who God is again and again and again and again. It never gets old, and every time I listen, it's brand new. Every time I read, it's brand new. And God wants to speak to us. And so I was going, and I said, you know what, I'm gonna go 20 today. And I was gonna push it farther than I ever did. And I'm exhausted, and I'm pushing it, and I'm at about 18 miles. And I had an accident. And as I was going on the Street Strider, where your foot hooks into the arm piece, you're pushing and pulling at the same time. In order to keep it straight, you have to push and pull with equal on each side, which works your core. It's like the greatest workout ever. And so the screw, I wasn't checking the screws like I should have been. You should always check your moving parts. And so what happened was that screw that held that together dropped out, and I foot planted, and I endoed at 14 miles per hour. So I went 14 miles per hour through the uprights, field goal, and I held on so hard, I bent the steel frame on the arm. But when I landed face first on a curb. When I hit the ground, immediately my face filled with blood. I couldn't see anything. And I hit right here, right at my temple. And when I hit the ground, I hit with all my momentum on my face. I didn't have anything stop me like my hand. And I bounced off the curb and rolled up onto my feet. And there was a thought that went through my soul immediately. The thought was, not yet, Lord. I'm not ready. I haven't touched enough people with my life. Not yet, Lord. I'm not ready. And it was like my life flashed before me in the moment of time. I mean, it was that quick. There were 3 things that flashed through. The first one is, not yet, Lord. Help me. The second thought was, my family's not ready for me to be gone. My wife and my kids and the new, our new baby boy that we just got full adoption of. He's 1 year old. And then my third thought was, not yet. The ministry's not ready for me to be absent. God, you're doing something amazing. It was all in the split second. And I like I said, this was all in my role, all those things. And as I got up and I'm bleeding from my face and I can't see, I quickly tried to FaceTime my wife and tell her, here's where I am, because I needed her to know in case I passed out, because I'm on the side of the road bleeding and my shirt is full of blood. And I FaceTime, and my son Azariah got the phone. And he's looking at his dad all bleeding, doesn't know what to say, and I don't know what happened next, but I'm sitting on the side of the road, and I dropped a pin to my wife to come and get me. My mom was with her. And I watched all these people going by in the cars, just going by. Like I can't tell you how many people went by and while I was standing on the side of the road bleeding. And I thought in my heart, am I not anybody's neighbor? I've got to be someone's neighbor. And that story about the neighbor hit me. I wasn't waving anybody down. All I could do was hold my face and try to wipe the blood because I couldn't see anything, but I saw cars pass me by. And then all of a sudden a car pulled over, and it just happened to be somebody that was a part of a ministry called Circuit Riders. Now, out of all the people, hundreds of cars passing me by, out of all the people, a ministry stopped. And they helped me, and I went to the emergency room, and you have to go through so many hoops to go to the emergency room now. I mean, it's a big deal with COVID and everything. And I'm sharing the gospel with a fresh new perspective, as I might not have been able to share the gospel right now. I might not have been able to witness. I might not have been able to share, because what if I hit my head and that was it? What if it was over in a moment of time, in the blink of an eye? It could be over. And I thought to myself, my God, and I'm sharing, and they're stitching me, and I'm sharing the gospel, and I got like 12 stitches in the side of my head. And people were being highly affected. And I shared where I came out of and where my life was, wrapped up in this and wrapped up in that. And there became an urgency inside of me to be a witness, but not just to be a witness, to wake up a sleeping church. My heart is so convicted, I can't even explain to you. I'm overwhelmed. Because I believe that we're all here to make a difference. We're not here to point the finger. We're here to point to Jesus. We're all here Why would people join a church that's fighting against themselves or hypocritical? Why do people want to be a part of that? They don't. They don't.